you can grab a chair and use it as hand support for our standing postures, because today we're doing plenty of standing postures. It was a request from last week. So if you need that, then go ahead. Okay, coming to find a comfortable seat, everyone. Oh, so comfortable cross-legged seat. I hope you can see and hear me, and if you can't, please message in the chat and Farine will respond. Okay, so finding a comfortable seat. And we're going to begin with neck circles this morning. So shrugging the shoulders up to the ears and back down the spine. Let's take our left ear to our left shoulder. Left ear, left shoulder. Lovely. Now, be really specific. We're getting into the accessory muscles of respiration in the neck. Take your chin to your left shoulder. Now, chin to chest. Ear to right shoulder, ear to right shoulder. So lifting the head. So looking towards me, looking towards the screen, and having the head tilt towards the right shoulder. That's it. Breathing into the left side of the neck. Deep inhale and exhale. Now chin to right shoulder. And then rolling the neck down, chin to chest. Let's take that again. So raising the chin, raising the head, looking towards me, left ear, left shoulder. Good. Chin to shoulder. Rolling the chin down to the chest. Good. Lifting the head, ear to right shoulder. Chin to that shoulder. And all the way up. Good. Now taking the ear to the left shoulder. And taking a deep breath into the right side of the muscles in the neck. Deep inhale and exhale. Can you lengthen the right arm? So the opposite arm to the way you're tilting the head, raising the arm and hovering it above the floor. And can you reach through the fingertips? So find a reach through the fingertips. I'm mirroring you, so I'll be your opposite side. And allow the arm to weigh a little bit heavy, and finding a stretch so that you're reaching the crown of the skull towards the left side and the fingertips towards the right. So there's a lengthening through the right side of the neck. Good. And then playing with the chin to the shoulder and then looking back towards the screen in order to get into those tiny little muscles in the neck, the scalenes, the SCM in the neck. Good. One breath here, deep inhale. And as you exhale, leave the head in that position, but allow the right palm to reach the ground, right palm to ground. And then take the left hand and place it on the left cheek and the left side of the skull. And allow the skull to weigh heavy in the hand, like you're holding your skull, providing it with full support. And then using just the weight of the hand, can you lift the heaviness of the head back up to center? Good. Relaxing the left arm down, closing the eyes for just a brief moment and noticing any difference between the right and left side. Deep inhale and exhale, blinking the eyes open, taking the other side. So ear to right shoulder. So allowing the head to weigh heavy, the shoulders drop away from the ears, and then extending the left hand out. I'm mirroring you, left hand out. Reaching the fingertips away from you, lengthening the muscle across the left side of the neck. And this might be quite tender for some. I don't know if you guys just heard my Alexa turn on. She's like, I don't know that one. Maybe she should come to class more often. Turning the chin towards the right shoulder and then ear back again. And just finding a little spot in the neck that feels good for you, reaching the fingertips away and the crown towards the right side of the room. Finding that stretch. Good. And when you're ready, taking a deep inhale again. Exhale, allow the palm to reach the mat, leaving the head tilting towards the right, and then bringing the right palm to the cheek on that side and the head, and allowing the skull to weigh heavy into the hand, full support of the skull, the heavy skull. And then using the weight of the hand to gently lift the skull back to center, relaxing the hands, closing down the eyes. And having a sense of your weight pouring down through the ground now. as the skull, the heavy skull, sits at the top of the spine. And the spine and the structure of the body is to support the head, support the mind. Blinking the eyes open. Let's take our arms all the way up overhead. Good. And as the palms reach the sky, allowing the palms to turn down, so that as the hands draw down through center, the palms are yielding to the ground. As they reach down, flipping the palms, turning them up and raising them halfway along the chest, and now extending them out to the sides all the way on the horizontal, turning them and bringing them back in, like you're drawing in energy to center and then lowering them all the way down. So let's repeat that again with the breath. Deep inhale all the way up, follow the breath, mark the breath, inhale up, exhale down, rooting down through energy, take the center line, exhale, finish the exhale as you reach your feet. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, extend and lengthen the arms all the way out. Inhale, draw all the energy from the sides back to center. Exhale, drift down. And again, one more time, inhale all the way up. This is our motif for today. You'll see it repeated. Exhale, grounding through Apana, through grounding energy. In yoga, we call downward energy elimination Apana, and inhale prana, light energy to the heart center. Exhale all the way out, lengthening the arms, broadening the back. Inhale, drawing back to center, inviting to center, and exhale all the way down. Lovely. So from here, we're going to begin our physical practice lying on our belly. So come to lie on your front body, bring the front body to the ground, allowing the legs to lengthen. And from here, basically bringing the arms underneath you. So we're going to come into Sphinx pose a couple of times during class. And Sphinx pose is all 10 fingers wide, palms to ground, with the forearms to the ground. But for now, just to arrive in our practice this morning, we're going to allow the arms to lengthen and the elbows to widen as the chin reaches the floor on the right or left side. So bringing your whole entire front body to meet the ground. And as you do so, allowing the entire body to yield. And a yielding into the ground can feel like a melting, like almost like a piece of chocolate that you've left out in the sun. So can you breathe? Take a deep inhale through the nose. And as you exhale, allow the exhale to yield you into the ground from the belly center, from the area of nourishment, as you melt and arrive in this moment, your practice this morning, where you have dedicated this full hour as a community to simply be. To simply be. And allowing your breath to guide you deeper so that you can melt into the ground and feel a receiving from the ground back up to meet you. And your inhale into the back body. The back body is facing the air above you, almost like a pocket of air forming around the back of the body. And it meets space. So there's this give and there's this receive, right? This give and this receive. Arriving in this space and time this morning, I invite you to the concept of today's Sema Yoga sequence. And the concept is Baraqat, translated as grace, grace or blessing. And as we approach the end of Ramadan, we celebrate Eid al-Fitr tomorrow, and all of us, whether we fasted or didn't, are coming to a space of opening ourselves to receive grace, grace through celebration. And I have a question for you this morning, a question for each and every one of you, to land at the level of the soul rather than in the thinking mind. And the question is, when was the last time you were truly open to receiving grace, to receiving or witnessing grace? At this moment, feel free to, keeping the eyes closed or the gaze lowered, simply lift the heavy skull and neck off of the ground and turn the head in the other direction. And really, receiving grace at a time of prayer or when we're practicing meditation is something that we plan for. But what about in mundane life? What about the decision-making of our everyday lives? Is there an opportunity in that decision-making to be open to grace? And what would it feel like to live and breathe and be inspired in those mundane moments by Baraqat? From here, you don't necessarily need to look towards me. Just listen to my instruction. Put a bend in the knees. So bend the knees, which means your feet will float towards the sky. Lovely. Bend in the knees, soles of the feet lift up. And now just take ankle circles. So the feet are maybe knee width apart. And can you slow down the circles? So as you slow down, can you get into the nicks and crannies and the bubbles of the ankles so that you're waking up the ankle joints this morning? Good. And feel free to rotate in the other direction if that feels good for you. So bringing a sense of lightness, of prana into the grounding element of the body, the feet. And then from here, bringing the ankles to stillness, so allowing the movement to rotate to stillness. And then we're going to take what's called, what I like to call back window windscreen wipers. So all you're going to do is allow your feet to sway right and left. So the movement's coming from the knees. That's it, Zamir. Really nice. And I'll demo it as well. So the knees are just allowing it to rock side to side, and the hips are lifting ever so slightly right and left. And again, take this movement as slow or as fast as your body feels like it needs today. Maybe you need to invite a slowing down after a long week, rather than moving from the inherent vortex of modern life into fast movement. Or maybe you need to energize. Because it's in our physical yoga practice that we discover the patterns of our bodies and our innate ability of the body to teach us how to receive blessing, to receive goodness. And today we're going to embody that in two ways. So we're going to embody it through gracefulness of movement. So there's a lot more flow in the sequence this morning. And through inviting the breath, just as we did at the start, as an invitation to light and free energy that we can practice receiving. So when you're ready, bringing your legs back to stillness. And having the legs still lifted. So there's a bend in the knees, the legs are lifted, but this time coming back into Sphinx pose. So gently peeling the front body off the ground, lifting the head off the ground, and coming into forearms. So your weight is equally distributed to your elbows, forearms, 10 fingers spread wide, and your feet are lifted. Now, this is layer one, so you can either stay here with the arms, layer one, or you can bring the hands to either side, layer two, or layer three, you can come onto fingertips. And it's not necessarily a hierarchy of movement. In fact, sometimes I feel better on my fingertips, but it's all about how you feel in the lower back. So I'm going to start on forearms today, and all we're going to do is inhale, lift, and exhale, lower the front body down to ground. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. So with the hands here, it's cobra. And this is Shalavasana pose. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. And if it's really twinging on the lower back, you can relax the feet down to the ground and keep going. Inhale, lift, exhale, lower. Good. One last time, in whichever position you find yourself in. Inhale, lift, exhale, forehead to ground. Good. Next time you come, inhale, lift. Just allow the forearms to reach to the ground, so we're all in Sphinx pose now. And we're going to roll onto our right side, and we're going to begin by moving our arms in opposite directions. So the right arm is going to move forward, and the left arm is going to come back. And we're going to use that as an excuse to roll onto our right side, but keeping the knees bent. So knees bent, rolling onto the right side, and scissoring the legs. So the right leg scissors forward, the left leg back, and we're going to use the weight of the arms to come up to seated. And the legs are at right angles, right? So my right leg is at right angle, and left leg is at right angle, and there's some space in between. So it looks kind of like this. From here, bringing the fingertips to the ground, right fingertips in between the legs, left fingertips behind. Can you inhale, grow tall through the spine, exhale, twist towards the left leg. Twist towards the left leg. Good. When you're ready, lifting the arms all the way up, and now twisting towards the right leg. So as you twist towards the right leg, you're going to plant your forearms onto the ground, and you're leaning over the thigh of the right leg. So coming into a twist, just like this. And my right elbow is aligned with my right hip, and my left elbow is aligned with my right knee. That's it. Deep inhale, exhale, release. Good. And then from here, allowing the arms to stretch out all the way to the front of the mat, keeping the knees bent, lifting the ankles, and rolling back the way you came, like a mermaid. When you're ready, onto forearms, Sphinx pose, lifting the head and heart, will take the other side. So lengthening the left arm out in front of you, right palm of the hand draws back, using it as an excuse to roll onto the left side, both legs turn, and then using the strength of the arms to lift you up to seated in a scissoring shape of the legs, bringing the left hand to the inside of the legs, right arm up and over, twisting towards the bent right leg. Deep inhale, exhale, twist. From here, both arms swing all the way around, and you're leaning, twisting from the belly button over the bent left leg until the forearms reach the ground. Deep twist. That's it. So bring both elbows to the ground. Just quite a deep twist into the hips. And then when you're ready, allowing both arms to reach towards the front of the room and rolling onto the belly with the feet lifted. Okay, we're going to take that one more time, a little bit quicker now. So right arm snakes forward, left hand back, rolling onto the right side. Good. Making your way, torso lifts up to seated. Right hand on the inside of the bent legs, left one on the outside. Deep inhale, exhale, twist. Both arms now swaying all the way around to find the ground on the outside of the right leg. Yielding into the ground and then allowing the arms to reach as the torso snakes to the ground. Lovely. Other side, left arm forward, right hand back, using the palms of the hands to roll onto that side, having the legs in that scissoring action as the right leg moves back, left forward. Arms rotate through. Deep inhale, exhale, twist. And then the arms sway all the way back round. Forearms find the ground and yielding through. Arms lengthen and using the arms to guide you back down to the ground as you roll onto the hips and the hands find the earth. From here, bringing both hands back towards the middle of the back, can we inhale, lift into cobra, coming onto all fours, tabletop, keeping our feet in this configuration where the big toes are touching and allow the big toes to yield to the ground, buttocks to heels, and we come into child's pose. So child's pose, knees wide, big toes touching, buttocks to heels, and the arms lengthening out in front of you, forearms to ground, and maybe forehead to ground. And when you arrive, tuning into the breath. So a deep inhale and exhale. Good. That's it. And if you take your knees a little wider and allow the hips to just yield to the earth, that's it. From here, coming onto all fours, tabletop. So bringing the body back to center. And for the moment, we're going to separate the feet slightly and have the knees under the hips and the shoulders stacked above the wrists. And finding a sense of evenness through tabletop. And then I want you to walk your hands just one pace forward. So have a slight angle between the shoulder and the wrist as you walk your hands one pace forward. Good, so there's a slight angle there, and we're just going to simply rock back and forth. So allowing a neutral spine, transferring the weight into the hands, and then exhale back. And then bringing the toes together. So you're moving through child's pose with the knees wide, big toes touching, back into a sway, and we're just moving back and forth. Waking up the spine this morning, waking up the legs and the hips. So just transferring the weight back and forth. And then at one point, as you move forward, you might feel like lifting onto the knees and bringing the toes more towards the head. That might feel good for you. So lowering the hips and the heels lift. And brightening the chest as you come forward. So as the toes lift, brightening the chest into a kind of mini back bend. And you might feel like taking the windscreen wipers. So as you come forward, the legs can move over towards the right, so opening up the hip, back to center, child's pose, coming forward, feet over to the left and back. And this is quite an opening for the lower back this morning. Good, so just rocking back and forth. Good. And from here, when you're ready, coming back onto all fours, separating the feet, and we'll take our first downward dog of the morning. So spreading all 10 fingers wide, tucking the toes, and having the knees hip width apart. We're going to inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest and heart. Exhale, ground through the hands, round the spine, lift the knees and hips all the way up, tuck the head, downward facing dog. And our first downward dog of the morning, our hamstrings will be a little bit stiff. So we're going to alternate between the ball of the right and left foot. So coming to the ball of the right foot as the right heel lifts and the left heel can reach towards the ground, and then alternating, so called walking the dog. So just transferring the weight between the right and left. And having a generous bend in the knees if you need to, and down dog, as generous as you need to be. That's it. And while you're doing this, take a really deep sigh for me. So take a deep inhale through the nose, exhale through an open mouth in an audible sigh. Lovely. Coming to stillness. Can you inhale, put a generous bend in the knees and elbows if you need to. Look past your fingertips and step the feet forward to meet the hands or jump them forward, whatever's in your practice. So stepping the feet, you can step from halfway forward and then all the way to the fingertips. Uttanasana, forward fold. Options include bringing your elbows onto your thighs or allowing the hands to drift down. And this morning I was thinking I like a really other variation which I wanted to show you. So putting a really generous bend in the knees, so much so that your torso is on your thighs, and then taking the arms out to the side and holding the elbows behind the knees. So really, I'm very, very much in a crouch here, bent over. So that's one option. Or you can take hold of the elbows in the front. And just allowing the spine to decompress here. So having the head hang heavy, and maybe shaking the head to the right, like a no and a yes, and just allowing the neck to be as loose as it felt at the beginning. That's it. Good. And then when you're ready, rolling up ever so gently, so releasing the clasps of the hands, and with bent knees, rolling up and unfurling the spine until you come up to standing. And keeping the movement going as you come up to standing, can we take the arms up overhead? So inhale, arms lift. We're going to take that motif with the hands. So arms up overhead. Exhale, palms come down through center. Good. Inhale, palms lift to the heart space. Exhale, horizontally out. Inhale, back to center, and exhale down. And as you move the hands down, don't rush it. Just allow the energy to drift. Inhale, lift, light energy prana. Exhale, bringing that energy all the way down to the feet, palms yielding down to the ground. Inhale, lift to heart center. Exhale, lengthen the arms out on the horizontal. And close your eyes if it feels good. Inhale, hands back to center. Exhale, drift all the way down. We're going to take that a few more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, ground through the feet. Allow all of the energy, the tension to drain out of the body as the hands drift down. Inhale, half lift to chest. Exhale, yield, pushing out into the periphery, our proprioception. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, allow everything to just rest. Good. Closing your eyes if you need to. Inhale, lifting up. Good. Exhale, down through center. Lovely. Yielding down. Inhale, lift halfway. Extending out into the dome of your periphery. Fingertips reach. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, down into the earth. Good. The next time we lift our arms all the way up ahead, you may want to blink the eyes open. Arms come all the way up, and you're going to come onto the ball of your right foot. So ball of the right foot. That's it. So ball of the right foot as you come up. Good. And then now, as the palms reach down, you're going to put a bend in the knees. So both knees are bending, but the heel of the right toe is lifted. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. And this time, palms are facing towards the left, so away from the bent leg. And you generate a kind of push out to the side as you put a bend in the leg. So there's a lean towards that side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, plant that heel to the ground. We'll take the other side, and I'll show you from the side. Inhale, arms lift all the way up. Lifting the ball of the left foot this time. So heel of the left foot lifts onto the ball. Exhale, put a generous bend in the knees. This is a kind of martial art move, in case you're wondering what the hell we're doing. Inhale, lift. Heart to center. Exhale, both palms face the left, and you lean as you yield towards the left, lean into the hips and really sink the knees down. So it's like you're sitting on a chair. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, yield. Good, lovely. Bringing the arms all the way up and walking to the front of your mat. We're going to take Surya Namaskar A, which is Sun Salutation A. So walking to the front of the mat. Big toes touch, heels touch. Inhale, arms lift all the way up. Exhale, hinge in half, offering the chest forward as the hips bend. And the hands find the thighs, the shins, or the ground. Tucking the chin to chest. Inhale, half lift. L shape, flat back. Exhale, putting a bend in the knees if you need to. Hands find the ground. Step the right foot back, left foot back, plank posture. And reaching through the heels towards the back of the room, transferring evenness of weight between the palms of the hands and the feet. Inhale, gaze forward past your fingertips. Rotate the shoulders, external rotation, tucking the elbows towards the chest. And lower down really slowly for a count of 3, 4, 2, and 1. Whole of the front body meets the ground. Inhale, yield through the hands. Lift the heart and chest. Cobra or upward facing dog. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and hips. Downward facing dog. Good. And one breath here. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. And let it all go. When you're ready, gazing past your fingertips now, putting a generous bend in the knees and a bend in the elbows if you need to. We're going to step the feet towards the hands. So again, you can step them halfway and then full way. You can jump, or you can step the feet forward towards your hands. Inhale, half lift, fingertips to thighs, shins, all ground. Exhale, Uttanasana, forward fold. Now, next time you inhale and half lift the chest, allow the hands to either reach the ground or fingertips to ground. And you might need to put a big bend in the knees if you need to. Transferring the weight into the right leg and right hand. Can you bend at the left leg and lift the left leg all the way back? And we're stepping into low lunge, so the left leg comes all the way back. Now, for those who don't want to plant their knees, you can leave the knees raised, or you can relax the left knee to the ground into low lunge, bringing the torso up and the hands up to the hips. So stepping the leg to the back of the mat, that's it, everyone. Relaxing the knee, good, and inhale, lift. So we're coming straight into crescent lunge here. So toes of the back foot tucked and lifting the back knee off of the ground into crescent lunge, good. From here, allowing the arms to come all the way up. Inhale, arms lift to the sky. And as you exhale, part the hands as the right arm comes forward, left arm back, and the back heel rotates towards the back of the ground. So we're coming into warrior two. And you may need a wider stance with the legs. So sometimes I straighten my front leg and I walk my front foot forward so that there's a nice wide stance between the front and back leg. Warrior two. So we're going to be here for a few breaths as I just talk through some alignment cues. So root the back pinky edge toe into the ground. And as you root the back pinky edge into the ground, you'll see the arch of the foot lift at the back, and the front knee is stacked over the front ankle. As you yield down through the hips, make sure the torso is up to center. So no leaning this way, torso up to center. That's it, lovely. Deep inhale and exhale. Coming into side ankle lunge, putting a bend in the front right elbow until the arm reaches the knee. And if you want your knee on the ground, then it looks like this. Yeah. So back knee can reach the ground. And then inhale, lift the left arm up and over by the ear. In fact, let's take one arm circle. So the left arm comes down, fingertips to ground all the way back. And then the left arm lies over the top ear as you rotate, and if you feel comfortable, taking your gaze to the inside of the top elbow. Otherwise, if it's sore or sends you off balance, taking the gaze to the ground. Deep inhale here, and exhale, yield. Strong through the legs, light and graceful through the upper body. Good, and when you're ready, we're coming back into warrior two. So left arm moves back, right arm moves forward. Good. And from here, we're going to rotate into reverse side angle. So the left arm comes down, sweeps underneath you, and the right arm comes all the way up. I'm going to tilt the screen so you can see me. That's it. And we're going to take the arms back and forward. So the arms sway all the way down, right arm on the inside of the front leg, left arm up and over, left arm back. And your front thigh could be burning right now, and that's a good thing. And as we find the gracefulness of the movement in the upper body, inviting grace into the upper body, can we yield and ground through the strength of the legs? When you're ready, back into warrior two, pop the back heel of the foot up so the hips swivel towards the front of the mat, and take both arms down on the inside of the front foot. Relax the back knee to the ground, take the right leg back, separate the knees and the feet. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Dropping the head, yielding through the hands as we take the other side. From here, gazing past the fingertips where you want to go, putting a bend in the knees and stepping the right and left foot forward so that you're coming to the front of your mat. And even if you're halfway, it's fine. Inhale, lift, lengthening the spine, half lift. Exhale, release. From here, palms of the hands find the ground or fingertips to the ground. Yielding into the left side of the body, putting a bend and lifting the right foot towards the buttocks. Then extending the right leg all the way back, planting the foot towards the back of the ground, dropping the back knee if you need to. Lifting the hands and the torso, hands to hips. Inhale, arms come all the way up, low lunge. From here, coming into crescent lunge, tucking the toes of the back foot, lifting the back knee up and allowing the arms to come into warrior two. Right arm back, left hand forward as the back heel swivels to meet the ground at the back. Inhale in your warrior two, checking in with your alignment. So looking down, can you see your big toe of your front foot? So the knee should be stacked above the ankle and you should be able to see the big toe of your front foot. Deep inhale here, exhale, release. Putting a bend in the left arm, the front arm, allowing it to reach the thigh. Inhale, right arm lifts all the way up by the right ear and circles down, fingertips to ground. Inhale, arm lifts, and this time rests along the outside of your right ear. Good. And if you feel comfortable, turning the gaze to the inside of the top elbow. One breath here, deep inhale and exhale. Arms swing back up to center, and then the right arm comes on the front side of your body, left arm all the way up. So it's like we're swaying in the wind. So the right arm then comes up, and we're just turning like the hands of a clock, moving up and down. You rotate in the upper body, grace in the upper body, strength in the lower body. Good. When you're ready, lifting the back heel all the way up, coming through warrior two, and windmilling the arms down, palms reach the inside of the front foot, dropping the back knee, taking the left leg back. And let's take a brief child's pose. So knees come out to the side, big toes touch, buttocks to heels. Relaxing the forearms onto the ground. And can you tune into your heartbeat? It might be a really subtle time to bring your attention to the heartbeat. From here, deep breath in, exhale back onto all fours, separating the knees and the feet, tucking the toes, yielding through the hands, downward facing dog. Lifting the hips high, head low, and relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. One breath here, deep inhale, exhale, put a bend in the knees if you need to, gaze forward past the fingertips, and jump or step the feet forward to meet the hands. Inhale, half lift, exhale, fold. So we're going to take the same sequence and add on from here. So hands yield towards the ground or fingertips to ground, generous bend in the knees if you need to, pouring your weight into the right side of the body. Now, as you lift the left leg up and back, there's options, right? You could just step the left leg back, or you could float it. So let the left leg, for those of you who want to try, lengthen all the way out, and then the hands can float ever so slightly off the ground, and then you slowly step the left leg back. Good. From here, rotating the back heel down and in. Inhale, warrior two. Lengthening the front leg so you can creep the toes forward, putting more space between the front and bottom foot, especially for the guys. As you're tall, you need basically an arm's width of length between the front and back foot. Inhale, exhale, yield. Good. From here, we're going to take triangle pose, Trikonasana. So straightening the front leg, taking the weight out of that front thigh. We're going to inhale, reach with the front fingertips. So it's like you're reaching out to hold somebody's hand, and the torso is lifting. Good. Left hip is pointing towards the back leg, and then rotating the hands like a clock face. So the right hand comes down, left hand lifts. And with the right hand, you can take hold of the shin of the bottom leg and use the shin to actually yield down. So there's a pushing through the shin as the thumb wraps around the front of the shin, four fingers around the back of the shin, and you yield down, which will allow you to reach higher. Reach down to rise. And if it feels comfortable, turning the head to gaze past the top fingertips, otherwise turning the head to meet the ground. And in Trikonasana, in triangle pose, you imagine like there's two planes of glass, and you're between those two panes of glass. So there's a leaning back, a slight lean back, which opens up the front body. Deep inhale and exhale, rebending the front knee, lifting the arms back into warrior two. And from warrior two, we're going to lengthen the front leg again and come into goddess pose. So goddess pose, bringing both heels into the center and big toes out. So stepping in, heels in, big toes out. Lovely. Good. And from here, in fact, let's straighten the legs, lift the arms all the way up. I know you can't really see my head. And exhale, bending the knees, palms facing down as the arms come through center, back into our motif. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, reaching out to the periphery. Following the breath, inhale, back to center. Exhale, ground, palms all the way down. Lengthening the legs as the arms lift all the way up. Inhale, exhale, down through center. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, extend. Good. Really put a bend in the knees, separate the feet. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, down. Good. Let's take that again. Inhale, lengthening the legs, fingertips to sky. Exhale, yield, down, giving down to earth. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, extend. Good. Lovely. When you're ready, coming back into warrior two. So allowing the front heel to swivel towards the back, big toes lift and swivel towards the front. Generous bend in the front knee. Swiveling the hips towards the front of the knee and lifting the back heel. Both arms swivel down on the inside of the front foot, dropping the back knee, right leg moves back, and taking either the child's pose or downward facing dog. Hips high, head low. One deep breath here, deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, sigh it out through an open mouth. If you're in child's pose, coming back into downward facing dog as we take the other side. Looking past your fingertips where you want to go. Generous bend in the knees, step both feet forward to meet the hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, lower. This time pouring the weight into the left foot. And the fingertips can be dangling. And then lifting the right leg, heel to buttocks, and then extending the right leg all the way back. And then finding a sense of flight. So as the fingertips lift, can you balance for a moment and then gracefully plant the back foot. Good, swiveling the back heel in, opening the arms out into warrior two. Left arm forward, right arm back. From here, lengthening the front leg, and again into triangle pose. So this time the left fingertips reach all the way forward. Reach. The right hip is moving towards the back of the room. And then the left hand comes down onto the shin. Using the shin like an anchor, can you start to rotate the heart all the way opening towards the right? As you then, from that place, lift the right arm all the way up. Fingertips to sky. And turning the head towards the fingertips if it feels good. Deep inhale, strong through the legs, graceful through the upper body. Inviting grace into the upper body. Good. And when you're ready, windmilling the arms all the way back up into warrior two, rebending the front knee. And from here, going back into goddess pose, so taking both heels in and big toes out. And I'm going to face you so that you can see me, but you're facing the other side of your mat now. So both heels in, big toes out. So you're kind of coming into goddess pose, lovely, into juicy hips. Okay, so from here, lengthening the legs, arms come all the way up. Let's take that motif. Inhale, reach, exhale, lower. Palms drift down through center. Inhale, half lift, chest. Exhale, fingertips all the way out. Inhale, back to center, yielding all the way down. This time, lengthening the legs, arms come all the way up to sky. As the arms reach up, can you do what we did from the beginning? So we're coming into a Qigong martial art posture. Can you lift the heel of the right foot? Lift the heel of the right foot, coming onto the ball of the right foot. And then as the arms come down through center, we're coming back into goddess pose, but with the right heel lifted, Inhale, arms to center, and then both hands point towards the left as you allow the left arms to move all the way to the left and you lean into the right. In Qigong, this is a very graceful posture and it's called taming the tiger. Inhale, back to center, replant the right heel and lift. Inhale, arms all the way up to sky, This time lifting the left heel off of the ground, coming onto the ball of the left foot. Exhale, bend both the knees, yielding through the hips, arms down to the ground. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, palms to the right this time. And as the arms move out, the torso moves towards the left, taming the tiger. That part that keeps us away from grace. I don't know about you, but my left leg is shaking right now. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, yield, lengthening through the legs. And then one last time, inhale, arms come all the way up. And let's lift both the heels. So coming onto the tips of the toes on both legs. And then as we exhale, lifting the heels high, bending the legs, just one long line down through center. Inhale, half lift. Exhale out. Good. And then release. Heels meet the ground. Big toes point towards me. Heels back, hands on the hips. Inhale, lift the chest, lift the heart. Exhale, fold in half. Prasarita Parattanasana, side forward fold. Arms come all the way down, head dangles. Good. And just one long release here. Putting a bend in the knees if you need to, for the fingertips to find the ground. And the skull of the head weighs heavy. When you're ready, allowing the hands to find the hips, lengthening the legs, and scooping the chest forward as you come up with a flat back, all the way to center. From here, swiveling the front toes forward, coming onto the front heel, planting the foot to face the front. Can you put a bend in the front knee and step back foot to meet the front? Good, lovely. From here, I'm going to face you. Inhale, arms come all the way up and lift the right knee up towards the chest. So we're balancing on the left leg. As you do this, inhale again, exhale, right arm goes back, left arm forward, and the back of the left hand finds the outside of the bent front leg. As you inhale, twist from the belly button, facing the right. Good. One breath here. Inhale and exhale. Left hand meets the left hip, left hand to left hip. That's it. Inhale, right arm comes up and over as belly button points towards the front, and the back of the right hand this time comes on the inside of the bent leg, the inside of the right leg, as you open the right leg out to the side. Optional to lift the left hand over towards the left, optional to look towards the left fingertips. Can you invite in grace? Can you invite in grace? And can you accept that the wobbles and the falls and the firing of your left calf is all part of the process? All part of the process. When you're ready, bringing the left hand to the left hip that was raised, right hand to the outside of the right leg as you invite it back to center. Lengthening the right leg out in front of you, point the toes towards the sky. For 3, lift it a bit higher for me. For 2, and for 1. Allowing that right leg to come down to ground and shaking out the left leg if you need to. Coming into tree on the right side, now we've opened the hip, pouring the weight through the left side of the body and lifting the right leg all the way up. Now, optional, tree layer 1 is the foot on the heel on the inside of the ankle. Tree layer 2 is the shin, or for layer 3, taking the right hand to the ankle and allowing the sole of the foot to be the inside of the groin. Inhale, hands to prayer at the heart, or arms all the way up to sky. And how you balance here, the trick to balancing, is a pressure, an equal pressure on the sole of the right foot and the thigh of the left leg. And if you apply that pressure here, you find a balance point, a point of grace. One inhale, and exhale, release. Other side. Pouring the weight into the right leg, can you lift the left leg up as the arms raise up to ceiling? So the left knee to the chest. Right arm forward, left hand back. Back of the right hand finds the outer edge of the left leg. As you inhale, twist from the belly button, twisting towards the left. Left arm all the way back. Left arm back and lifted. Deep inhale. That's it. Exhale, release. Bringing the right hand to the right hip. So releasing the hand, bringing it to the right hip. And the left arm comes back, up and over, on the inside of the top leg. Back of the hand finds the inside of the knee as you open out the hip, taking the knee out to the side. Right hand comes all the way out on the horizontal. If you feel balanced, turning the head towards the right fingertips and enjoying the play of the right leg, enjoying the jiggle. Good. Almost there, guys. That's it. When you're ready, right hand to right hip, left hand eases that leg in, lengthen the leg out in front of you, raise the toes to the sky, raise them really, really high for 3, for 2, and 1, allowing the leg to meet the ground, shaking out the right leg if you need to, coming onto tree on the right side. So leaning, pouring the weight into the right leg, left leg can come on the inside of the ankle, shin, or inside here. Inhale, arms all the way up. Good. Few deep breaths here. Inhale, grow tall to receive. Exhale, grounding through the right leg, up in energy, down to the ground. Tall like a tree, swaying in the wind, but open to receiving. When you're ready, releasing the leg and shaking out if you need to. Good. Coming into Malasana squat. So bringing both heels in, big toes out. Inhale, arms lift all the way up. Exhale, palms facing down. Can we lower the knees down to center? Okay. Good. And all the way down, so the buttocks go down. And your heels may lift, and that's okay. So we're coming all the way down. Good. And having the hands find the inside of the legs, fingertips to ground if it feels good. And sort of swaying right and left a little bit, even if your heels are lifted. Just sort of easing into the hips. Good. And then when you're ready, any way you know how, coming down so the buttocks come down through center. And to finish, we're going to take Navasana pose, boat pose. I don't believe we've done yet. So bringing both toes to touch, heels to touch, and both knees glued together. Good. So the options here are coming onto both sides of the pelvis. You can bring the hands underneath the thighs and draw the heels so you're coming onto your tiptoes and simply lift one leg and lift the other. So that's one option if you're playing there. Otherwise, having the hands on the back, you can lift both legs up, and there's a bringing of the thighs towards the torso. So there's a hugging. So there's no collapse in the back. There's a hugging towards. And then maybe the shins are parallel to the sky. Inhale, lengthening the arms all the way out for one breath. Deep inhale, and exhale, lower. Good. And we'll take that one more time. So this time you can lengthen the legs all the way out if you need to. So I'm shuffling my buttocks towards my heels. Inhale, lift, shins towards the sky. Good. Lengthening the arms out and lengthening the legs. Now your back will dip slightly here. Lengthening the legs up towards the sky. Good. When you're ready, putting a bend in the knees and bringing them down to the ground. Separating the feet and allowing some distance between the heels and the buttocks. When we take hold, right hand to right shin, left hand to left shin. Inhale, lift the torso, lift the chest. Exhale, using the shins like an anchor, round the back, touch the chin to the chest. Rounding in the back body. Inhale, lift. Just like cat and cow, but sitting seated. Exhale, round through the spine. Inhale, lift all the way up. Now, taking the right hand on the inside of the right leg. Lovely. Taking the hand to the shin. So just above the ankle joint and wrapping the hand around the shin. Can you inhale, twisting from the belly button, left hand comes all the way back. So we're twisting towards the back of the room. You can almost gaze at the back fingertips. You can stay here, or you can take the right hand to the base of the right foot. So lifting the big toes up, holding the base of the right foot, and lengthening the leg. Inhale, lift. You can stay here, or layer 3, coming onto the tiptoes of the left foot, and just lifting the left foot a little bit up. Good. And lowering the right leg down to the ground. Both hands to shin. It's a really nice twist in my right side. Inhale, lift the belly, lift the chest. Exhale, round through the spine, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, lift all the way back, other side. Left arm comes on the inside of the left leg, taking hold of the shin. Thumb wraps around the bottom of the calf, fingertips around the shin. Inhale, lift, right arm up and over. Can you twist from your core all the way to the right side? Optional to stay here or lifting the toes of the left foot. Take the hand on the sole of the left foot and lengthen the leg. Optional to stay here or come onto the tiptoes of the right foot and hover the right leg off the ground. Good. Releasing the length in that leg, both arms back and round, both hands to shin. Inhale, grow tall, soften the belly, lift the heart, relax the shoulders. Exhale, round through the spine like the tortoise coming into hibernation. Take that one more time. Lift the belly, lift the chest, arc the spine. Exhale, round through like a tortoise in hibernation. Feeling a stretch and a lean back through the back body. Good. This time, inhale all the way forward, lift the belly, arc the spine. And as you exhale, I like to close my eyes and lower my eyes as I do this. We're going to yield down into Shavasana. So allowing the belly button to reach the spine, rolling down, chin to chest, as you roll all the way down to spine, lower back, middle back, upper back, and release. Finding the back body to the ground. When you're on the ground, maybe hugging both knees into the chest if it feels good, and maybe rocking side to side, a little massage for the lower back. And if you like, allowing both knees and feet to come together and allowing the knees to fall to the left side, coming all the way to the ground as you take a lying twist. Inhale, right arm comes out to the right side, head turns towards the right. Inhaling into a twist into the right side of the body. Get back up to center. Knees over towards the other side. Left arm extends all the way out. Lying twist. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let it all go. When you're ready, knees back up to sky, head towards sky, and hugging the knees into the chest if it feels good, taking any last little movements that I haven't cued today, whatever that is. If you want to rotate the ankles like a bookend as we did at the beginning, or anything you need to, raising the feet to the sky if you need to pour the energy down into the head, taking happy baby pose. Anything that feels good, anything your body's telling you that you need that I didn't cue today. And if you're content lying flat right now, just lengthening the legs and allowing the arms to weigh heavy down by the waist as we come into our Shavasana. And as we yield into the ground now with the back body, allowing the breath to guide you deeper. And perhaps bringing your attention to your heartbeat again, or your breath, whichever feels more towards the surface for you today. Allowing the eyes to weigh heavy in their sockets and relaxing the jaw, unholding the jaw. Allowing the root of the tongue to weigh heavy. And sending the breath into the hips as the pelvis yields towards gravity. Allowing gravity to take hold, to hold you in this safe space. And allowing the breath to drift down the legs until the ankles flop out to the sides. And breathing into the soles of the feet, into your pinky toe, your fifth toe, your fourth toe, your third toe on both sides, the second toe and the big toe. And sending the breath all the way to your periphery. And this is your time, your few minutes to ground as we close the practice this morning. So if my words are useful, if you enjoy them, then please listen. However, if you find more peace in the spaces between my words, then use this as a meditation practice to zone in on that space. I started off this morning with the notion of receiving grace. But I woke up thinking that the receiving of grace implies that that which is giving grace is outside of us, that it is potentially above us. And instead, I wonder whether at this point in your life, there's an invitation to discover your relationship with ideas anew, thinking anew. And one idea is that instead of receiving grace, we realize grace. That actually the part of us that is holding on to grace, that has the capacity to deliver, is actually within us, that is closer to us. And in the Quran it says, closer to us than your jugular vein, the veins in the neck that we've come into close embodiment today. So perhaps you realize grace instead of receiving it, perhaps. And in order to realize or receive grace, we have to deem ourselves worthy, fully worthy, that it is our birthright to receive and witness the grace that is already there, right now. And what would it feel like to move and to live from that space of grace for the rest of your day and the rest of your month and the rest of the year? I'll finish with this quote by Hafiz. Now is the time to know that all you do is sacred. Now is the time for you to deeply contemplate the impossibility that there is anything but grace. Deepening the breath now, taking a drink of the breath through the nose, feeling the belly and chest rise. Exhale, part the lips, breathe out through an open mouth. Take that a few more times if it feels good for you. As you land in the room and keeping the eyes closed or the gaze gently lowered, inviting the head to roll to the right and then the left, using the weight of the skull like it existed on your hand at the beginning to choose which direction you want to roll onto. Maybe the body chooses instead of the mind. And when you've chosen, when the head is chosen, allowing the body to roll onto the right or left, yogi's choice, eyes gently closed. And as you roll onto one side of the body, maybe the knees hug into a chest like a ball, like a fetus, and the knees, maybe the elbows and the knees meet. And you continue to allow the breath to awaken the grace within yourselves, the Baraqat. And on the most deepest breath, when you find your deepest root of your breath that guides you, I welcome you to meet me at the front of the mat in any comfortable seated position with the eyes closed to close the practice. And as you arrive in the seat, take your time, allowing the base of the pelvis to weigh heavy in contact with the ground, and lengthen the spine tall, so sitting slightly back in your seat as the crown reaches towards the sky and the shoulders drift away from the ears and the eyes remain gently closed. And we'll take our invitation of breath and Baraqat with our hand motif once again. So with the eyes closed, relaxing the arms to the outside of the thighs. Inhale, lift, arms up and out, all the way up, fingertips to sky. Exhale, part the palms, allow the palms to drift really slowly now as you clear any of the dust left on the mind. The hands pass through the center line, grounding the energy down to center, forever grounded, forever rooted like a tree. Inhale, half lift, palms up to center. Take this in your own time, I'm just a guide. Exhale, yielding, arms all the way out to your periphery, larger than life, bigger than you ever thought. Fingertips extend outwards. When you're ready, inhale, palms to heart space, inviting positive energy in. And when you're ready, exhale, hands release down into the lap. Deep inhale through the nose and exhale, tucking the chin to the chest and bowing in gratitude to the grace that is within all of us to witness and receive. And may we move from a space of levity today in full Baraqat as we approach Eid, the celebration of the end of the month. Amen. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining me this morning. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So for those of you, before you rush off, I would absolutely love some feedback. And there's 49 people here and I want 49 responses. Thank you. There's also a note from Farine in the chat group. It reads, next week, we are starting at the earlier time of 9 a.m. Because AKYSB Mid-Year Orientation Day. I'm sorry. But you know, look, I mean, you have the whole day ahead of you to experience Baraqat. And if we started any later, you know, I'm just putting out there. Okay, thank you so much. Have an absolutely beautiful and wonderful day. And I really, really appreciate you all being here and practicing as a community together on a Saturday morning. So thank you so much. And I really enjoyed it this morning. And if there's anything, oh, by the way, so last week we had huge technical problems. In fact, we've had a number of technical glitches over the weeks. And I recorded the class from last week. We record every week actually, but I've managed to find time to edit last week's. And last week's class was the concept of qadr, of power, because it was Laylatul Qadr. I'm so creative. So if you would like the Laylatul Qadr class, which is on recording, then please leave me your phone number in the Menti, and I can add you to our WhatsApp group. There's about 60 of us on the WhatsApp, and I promise you won't get lots of messages. It's actually just yoga stuff. So I can send you the class on Qadr. And also, I recorded a semi-yoga class, which is about 40 minutes on the concept of tadamun. And some people haven't seen that yet. So if you're itching for a little bit more semi-yoga during the week, you can have that too. So I can send that to you. And then I've also made 2 recordings, and one is for nighttime. It's about 15 minutes to sort of send you off into sweet slumber. And the other one is for focus and energy during the day. So it's that point when you just need a kind of caffeine hit, but actually what your body really needs is rest. So it's like a mini nap, but with my voice. So if you want, so there's 2 audio guided recordings, 1 recorded video and 1 recorded live session. So that's quite a bit of material to keep you guys going. So I really do need your phone numbers or your email addresses if you don't want to give out your phone number, and I can send you all the material during the week. And I hope that even though next week's class is early, that you will make it. And also, if you have any injuries, or if are you working with anything, whether it's emotional, in your energetic body, in your physical body, please just email me. I'm really open to having that chat. And this is a difficult forum, because I'm speaking to myself and, often up to 90 black boxes. So if you need anything and you want more of a richer dialogue, then just reach out. I think that's it from me today. And just have a beautiful weekend full of grace. Invite it in. It's already there, And I'm sure once we get down to 20 participants, Farine will turn off the mute, so anyone can say anything if you want to. Great. Thank you, Salima. Thank you so much. Good. Lovely to see you, Sultana. Thank you. Bye. Bye, Tim and Fahim and Soraya. Thank you. Good. And Fanush and Anar, Alina. I think that's Nina Hirji. Oh, lovely to see you, Tim. Anyone who wants to turn their cameras on. Woo. Shah Sultan. Hey, Tim.
Unmute everyone.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Ali's here. Hi, Ali. You woke up. Cool. Anushka, Nahima. Hey, Neelam. Oh, this is so nice to see everyone. Cool, cool. Awesome. Eid Mubarak, everyone. Eid Mubarak, indeed, Fatima. Eid Mubarak. That's it. Good. And Fatima Mohammed's put her email address in here, but this chat is going to go. So I would love if you would just put it in the Menti. That would be amazing. Thank you. I hope everyone heard me this week. Okay. Bye, Asma. See you later. Thank you, guys. Lots of love. Bye, Fatima. Of course, the pleasure's mine. I'm getting good at lip reading now. You can turn your mute off and speak. You have to turn your mute off. Okay, I can't hear you, Fatima, but I can sort of lip read. Oh, wait, you're muted.
I watched the program, but I would love to read one because I couldn't hear.
Today you couldn't hear me?
No, today I did. It was good. Last,
Yeah.
Last one, please.
Yeah. Did you want to give me your email?
But I did join though. I did all the movements watching you.
Amazing. What effort. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Bless you. Many thanks.
No, it's lovely to meet you. Where do you live? Do you live in the UK? In London?
Yes, yes.
London, amazing.
Yes.
So I'm sure we'll see each other in person one day when this is all over. Inshallah, inshallah.
Eid Mubarak, everybody.
Mubarak, everyone. Eid Mubarak. Okay, I think we're going to end the chat soon. So if no one else has anything to say, have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks, Rabia. Excellent session.
See you, babe. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Bye.